Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name is Preston. I'm here with Sam.
Hello, it's me. I'm back.
Yeah, we are back again today with a set to review. We wanted to jump into my favorite color to see what we're doing with it next set. Am I going to stick with red or we jump into anything else? So when we're looking at red, we wanted to first look at the archetype that they provided to us with the Whitebeard Pirates and Edward Newgate. But we also want to consider, does that leader and does red just work better with everything? So let's jump into the Whitebeard Pirates first and see what happens.
Boom. Set two, we're getting the Whitebeard Pirates. That is going to be the red cover. Looks like most of the Strahds are going to move on to a different color, so we're getting this here. Whitebeard Pirates have a cool new mechanic where we are taking our own life every turn. White Newgate has extra life, he has extra power, so we're playing with like a ticking time clock.
Hmm.
For Bandai, I would say this is a pretty unique mechanic. There hasn't been a lot like this, so definitely untested water, but pretty cool. I think it fits thematically as well. Obviously, he was sick, he was dying, so he only had limited time. So hopefully that wasn't a
Hmm.
spoiler. But pretty cool, different mechanic. It's definitely supplied with a lot of really cool wiper cards. So let's get into what we think the next one will look like.
Yeah,
Boom.
just at a first glance, these are the cards that stood out to us. We always are going to throw in our 2K counters in here. Uh, because you're gonna want to play them. So
Yeah.
in this set, it's her.
Makino was one of the first ones. She's not necessarily a Whitebeard pirate, but we wanted to feature her because she does have a cool effect for whatever red deck you're doing. Rusty here giving another red character card 3k power. Pretty handy, could be done in a pinch. If you're going for game, it's more effective to tap one mana to play her and activate her effect than attaching it on. So this
Mhm.
could be a cheeky card to slide in if we need a 2K combo, but it's definitely going to be Jozu for playing Whitebeard Pirates. And he has
Mhm.
Rush, or he can get
Yeah,
Rush.
you can gain rush, which is super mostly niche to red.
Yeah.
You could also run Otama or Brook,
Yep.
uh,
Definitely good
which
cards.
I don't think we added here. Just thinking of all the cards, but when you're thinking Whitebeard Pirates, it's definitely going to be a Jozu.
Yep.
Um, which you would probably want those extra backup 2K counters because you most
Yep.
likely are going to end up playing the Jozu in your end game.
Yep. For
And you're
Rush,
also
definitely.
going to want to keep your 2Ks for end game.
Yep.
But it's an extremely good card. We do have Nico and Chopper in here because those cards are good, so you're most likely playing them in everything. A great idea I think that you had is Whitebeard Pirates are also doing minus power
Lot.
to your opponent. So you were thinking of the set one Red Hawk, right?
Oh, a Jet Pistol, absolutely.
Yep.
Jet Pistol's a card that I thought was going to be pretty impactful in red, but in more recent terms, it's definitely been more impactful. But we have tons of cards that minus.
Mhm.
Whitebeard on his own, the SR, he's minus, not minusing, he's KOing with 3,000 power. But we have Ace, the SR as well, that's minusing two characters for 3k power. So with Jet Pistol, we're killing basically everything with this couple combo. You could still run Otama. Brook from the first set is another minus card. It's a nice little combination feature that we can definitely take advantage of. For the Wiper Pirates mechanic, I would say Rakoyo is probably one of the key factors here. He's essentially Drake for Wiper Pirates from the starter deck, except he doesn't have to attack. So he's just gonna sit there and feed 1,000 power. He doesn't give it to the leader, but he gives it to all the other character cards. So this card's gonna be quite powerful. It's also a pretty small set for red, so there's not a ton of features here. We've already talked about most of the cards. Marco's a unkillable blocker, ideally, as a
Mhm.
Phoenix. He's only triggered with 2 life or less, so he could be more of a later stream card, but honorable mention, still very good. But Red Wiper Pirate has a inflection of vanillas that all have Wiper Pirates, except little ores. It says Whitebeard Pirate Allies. We do not know if that is going to be a Whitebeard Pirate beneficiary of cards, but we'll let you know. But if it does work, and it is Whitebeard Pirates, Little Joiner is solid fit here. But
Little Oris Jr. should work for
should.
Moby Dick. I don't know if it works for the search. That's my understanding
Yeah.
of the wording, but I could be. No, I think it might work for the searcher too.
I
It's
hope
weird.
so.
It really depends on how they rule that.
Yeah.
Because it says including, so I'm assuming it's both, and
Yeah.
Oars would fit, but it's something to look out for that they might rule it differently. It seems like they intended on it being that way. But if they make a weird ruling, then ores would get dropped for something that works more thematically or is like just play more aces. 7K,
Play more
7.
aces. That's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. You hit it on the head. Moby Dick is definitely what we're looking at here. Moby Dick, if we're playing Wiper Pirates, is probably the engine here. It's probably the biggest card, most important card. We only need one, so you're probably not running four, but you still want to see it, so keep that in mind. But giving all characters with Wiper Pirates 2000 power when you have less life cards than your opponent, very easy to do. 2K power puts our vanillas at an ungodly number. This 4-drop 6K is now a 4-drop 8K, and you see the pattern here. That is definitely the way to win with Wiper Pirates, I would say. There's not a lot of things you can do when you put a turn 2 8K on the board and it's attacking every turn.
Yeah.
And it could be even bigger with Ryukin. So we have an excess of power. We're just going to shove it right into the opponent's face.
Yeah. And Moby Dick makes your leader 8K. Your super rare Edward Newgate makes your leader 8K
Yep.
until your next turn, right?
Yep.
So
Key
your
defensive card,
leader's
too.
going to be a monster. Yeah,
Yeah.
your leader's going to be a monster. Your set one leaders are going to have a harder time hitting your leader,
Yep.
but also you just can wait it out. If you can stall out Whitebeard,
Yep.
he's going to get himself to 0, and
Yep.
then all you have to do is do lethal.
Yep.
You'll have to get around a Marco blocker and some
Probably.
other stuff, but you could also put some pressure along the way. Make sure they don't get there to their high drops because they're going to be minusing every turn.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's an interesting deck. I think this is a lot more power than any other deck has really put out. So it's definitely should be on your radar.
yeah.
And these cards are sticky. I use that word as it's going to be hard to remove these character cards. Black is probably going to have an okay time with it, but everyone else is going to struggle. Cards that go well as well thematically. Radical Beam, we're taking a lot of life. It's very easy to hit this 2 life, probably by turn 2 or 3 when we want to start using Radical Beam in the first place. So card synergizes really well. It doesn't have a character search card, so we're probably going to need to use Wiper Pirates to think the deck, finding our key cards. I don't know what we're going to be running at since it is an extra card, but 2 probably at the most, or at the least, and Jet Pistol. It's just too good not to be playing. You're probably going to play 4, to be honest, but it's going to come down to testing. I see this deck doing well. It's strong. It hits all of our check boxes. A lot of combo power. All of the big drops are going to be menaces. 6-drop Thatch is gonna with Moby Dick's a 10K. It's that right there is clashing with most other end game cards. So it's gonna be fun playing against and with this Wiper leader. Could see it being a very strong deck.
Yeah.
We wanted to also wanted to show what the deck would look like without Wiper cards. Preston,
Not entirely reliant on
right?
Whitebeard. Red is a very, I think, competitive color as it is
Yeah,
with Rush. So if you're just going to play all of your best characters and play off the fact that Whitebeard is already stronger than the rest of the leaders,
yep,
play good cards. So you want to play your Straw Hats from set one,
yep,
your Rush, your Nami searches. We already talked about the event cards,
yep.
but this could be an extremely scary rush deck now. We're not even running all the rush cards because some of them are kind of boo boo. Uh,
For lack of a better word, yeah.
yeah.
But there's a lot of good things that both of them do. The set one red deck and the set two red deck that we can combine. We
Mhm.
touched a little bit. They minus. So Fire Fist Ace is another rush card that Whitebeard gets access to, and he also minuses. So we have more options, maybe to land some jet pistols. I know the math doesn't add up Dawn wise, but
Mhm.
it's options. We have Brook as well that minuses as well. We can make this a minus done kill with straw jet pistol kind of deck.
Mhm.
You have another rush option with Jozu. You have more power with Moby Dick. You probably just run one Moby Dick, but you still probably run it. Vista is a wipe your card that KOing 3 power or less on play, so it's a quicker Nico Robin. So we have cards here that are good and not necessarily dedicated to Whitebeard. I think it was intended to be a dedicated deck,
Mhm.
but I don't think it needs to be played that way when the solo cards are so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you most likely play the Moby Dick because it's going to make your leader 8K,
Yeah.
and the few Whitebeard pirates that you are playing on your turn are just going to get massive. Like you were just saying, your 6 drop 8K becomes a 10K. You throw that at anybody, 10K is going up against
9 drops.
a 9 drop Kaido from set one.
Mihawk,
Um,
Shanks, another Whitebeard.
yeah, it fights. It gets really easy to go up against the 10 drop Kaido from set one. That's 12.
Mm-hmm.
Your Edward Newgate from set two with Moby Dick goes one-on-one with your Kaido. So this deck could be even better than the solid Whitebeard Pirates. We definitely want to test something like this. You have
Mm-hmm.
to balance and see what's going to end up working against the rest of the meta too. So it
Yep.
could be that this falls off because everything else is just disgusting.
It's completely possible. We already feature Black, which I'll link right here. Incredibly exciting deck, but this deck is different and it's going to be very powerful. These cards are definitely stronger than any other cards we featured, especially the potential strength. And we have more rush now. Red has access to at least seven. Is it seven? It's a lot of rush cards. So it has
Yeah.
the ability to just turn on the jets. So it's definitely needs to be on your radar. Definitely going to be a fun deck to play. Yeah, I especially defensively too. 6K power leader, not going to be very easy to kill.
Yeah, I mean, there's this has alt arts in it. 16 rush cards, but there's alt arts. Let me see if I can pull the alt arts out.
There's
Um,
Sanji, the Zoro, the Monkey Luffy, the Ace, the Jozu. Those are probably the five you play, and then they have the promo Luffy from the. Then you have there's at least one more that I'm forgetting. Cavendish technically can get rush, which
mhm.
synergizes with this deck as well, leader wise. So we have options here, and with that much rush, it needs to be on your deck building radar. You have to have early blockers to have answers for this. So you're definitely already building to beat a deck like this, I would say.
Yeah, I think there's like 8 to 10 rush
Oh,
cards,
okay.
something like that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Gonna be a good deck. I think it's good thematically, and I think it's gonna be good like this. Probably a strong A tier deck, I would guess.
Mhm.
Um, gonna be, like I said, a lot of fun. A lot of fun to play.
Absolutely. I'm actually really excited about that hybrid, uh, based off of how I like to play.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a pretty scary deck. The Whitebeard alone seems like it's going to be competitive.
Yep.
It might fall off. We have to look at the rest of the colors for set two. So stay tuned, come back. We'll be reviewing the rest of the colors in the next week or so. Let us know what you think about our current opinions on this red set. Are we missing something? Is there a card that we just completely overlooked? Last set, we totally looked over Nico Robin for the first like month or so. So,
Oh,
are we missing something? Let us know in the comments down below.
absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Peace.